Joe, good morning to you.
Good morning
to everyone out there in movie
Hollywood land.
You know what? I want to tell you a little story, Joe, because last Thursday, I Ubered my ass down to the famed Hotel Roosevelt in Hollywood, California.
I love Hotel Roosevelt.
Not for a poolside cocktail.
Okay.
But for the opportunity to huddle on the sidewalk with about 50 other horror freaks in our patterned T-shirts or hoodies or what have you, to watch one of our heroes, the man, the myth, the legend, John Carpenter. That's John Carpenter, the director of Halloween, The Thing, They Live, Assault on Precinct 13,
Ghost of Mars,
the underrated Ghost of Mars. That was going to be my, like, you know, in Sopranos when Christopher's like, Kundun.
Yeah, you're right.
That was good. If he got within earshot, which he didn't get anywhere near the rabble, and I honestly, good for him. I was going to go, John, Ghost of Mars, loved it, which I did.
It's actually pretty solid.
I liked it. It's his worst movie, and it's still really good. The Fog, Christine, there's so many. The list goes on. Big Trouble in Little China. I don't know if I said Escape from New York.
Thing.
I said The Thing second,
gotcha.
but I like that you are going there because we're going to talk about The Thing. We're going to talk about
who
The
doesn't?
Thing.
Yeah, you love Thing.
Now, before we get into a breakdown of this ceremony, because a lot went down, and I have theories about what went down. Carson, can we see those first two pictures? Look at that.
Wow.
He was throwing up devil horns.
That's
like fuck. They were going out of style.
I love
there was a clearance sale on devil horns. That's how much John Carpenter was throwing up the horns. He was having a blast. He looked great. He looks like the Prince of Darkness. He rules. And let's look at that second picture.
Hey, look at that.
This is me with a gentleman who was dressed up like Michael Myers, and then he had his dog dressed up as Doggy Loomis.
Oh, that's
instead of Dr. Loomis from
I understood. And look how
Halloween.
happy that made you.
You
got a
thrilled.
big old smile.
I
on
was
your
smiling.
face.
I'd like to think that
happy
he's
you are.
smiling under that Michael Myers mask.
Did you
there.
feel like you were surrounded by comrades, by like your people?
I did.
Like, did you feel one and of sort of the rabble?
It was a great vibe. Everyone was like talking about their favorite Carpenter movies. You heard the name Rob Bottin thrown around a lot, you know, the VFX designer on The Thing.
Real heads.
You heard there was a lot going on. There was a good vibe. There were some like just autograph hounds, but they weren't really
Guy
hanging
wearing
out. They
a
were like
Word t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just just rocking.
And it wasn't just us, because the VIP section was full of some great horror nerds, because here's who was there in the VIP section. Number one, every talking head from every horror doc you've ever seen. If you've seen In Search of Lost Darkness, or if you've seen like Top 100 Kills on Shudder, all those guys were there. I'm talking your Mick Garris's, your Greg Nicoteros, your Ryan Turek's, that's the Blumhouse VP, the guy with the black goatee. He was there looking good, looking like he was in one of those talking head shots. Adrian Barbeau was there.
Wow.
His from The Fog, also John Carpenter's first wife, so I guess they're still on good terms, which is cool.
That's cool. I love when that happens.
That's the best, right? So Adrian Barbeau was there. But then the two guys, this is what I want to talk about, because the two guys that he chose to speak, and then they stand next to him when he does the big unveiling, right? You, of course, had Kurt Russell, who was in, Snake Plissken and Big Trouble in Little China, and of course The Thing. And then the other guy that he chose was Keith David, Kurt Russell's co-star in The Thing.
Very cool. I love Keith David. I loved seeing him up there.
That voice, Joe. That as soon as that voice hit that mic, we all just went, oh.
I love knowing that John Carpenter and Keith David like remained friends for a long time, so much so that he would speak on his behalf at his Hall of. Like I just love like learning about friends. Like, oh, they were friends. I love that.
I know. And they were all just like having a blast. I did read though that Kurt Russell and Keith David have not appeared in public for 40 years.
Wow.
But like,
were they chummy?
They were so chummy. I think their schedules just
we just hadn't seen each other in a long time.
Yeah. Also, they probably maybe they hung out at one of their at somebody's house. Like, you don't know.
They played golf in 2004.
Stop trying to stir up shit. Okay, everyone was having friends. Everyone was having fun. And Carson, can you play the third and fourth clips? We want to hear what Keith David and Kurt Russell had to say.
I once had a teacher who would ask, do you know when you're in the presence of something beautiful? Well, When working with JC and the cast of The Thing, I knew I was in the presence of something beautiful.
Ooh,
Cool.
Great line.
Imagine if
Great
Keith
line.
David said that to you. I mean, that would be one of the most powerful. Your heart might melt.
I love that he called The Thing like being in the presence of something beautiful. That is so well said. I love when people like don't just go like horror, freaky. They like appreciate the beauty of horror. I love that.
That's
and let's
cool.
hear what Kurt Russell had to say.
But I keep noticing this ridiculously large sombrero over in the corner. And I kind of looking at it, and finally I said to the wardrobe gal, I said, "What's the deal with the sombrero?" She said, "Oh, that's your hat." I'm not wearing that hat.
I've listened to him say, "I'm not wearing that hat 100 times."
I'm not wearing that hat.
There it is. I'm not wearing that hat. That guy has charisma.
Oh
for
my! He looked
years.
so.
He looks
he
so
looks
good.
so good.
He's
he
in his
looks
late
so
70s.
young. Like, I don't know if
know.
he looks young. You know, he just looks so vibrant.
Fucking cool. And
He looks
vibrant.
cool as shit. And you know what else looks cool as shit? That picture of him in that sombrero from The Thing.
I know.
My God,
I know.
that look is so cool, dude.
Can you believe he made that
legendary?
look? Like that Carpenter knew he would make the look work, and that he did make the look work.
Also underrated. Sorry, just to say it. Keith David calling him JC. That rules too.
That was awesome.
That rules
JC.
too.
I'm gonna start calling him JC.
I'm gonna call him JC. Yeah.
Now, when I posted these clips on social, and by the way, this is a great week to go follow us on Instagram or TikTok at MoviesBaby with 5 Ys. There's some additional little shots from the John Carpenter ceremony there. You can follow us. We're posting tons of cool stuff on those accounts. You gotta follow us there. Now, when I posted these clips, the number one comment I kept seeing was like John Carpenter is just now getting his star? Like, what took so long? Why is John Carpenter just now getting his star? Why did Gal Gadot and Ryan Seacrest and the Chevy Suburban has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
I'm sure.
Why
that's
did the
true.
Chevy Suburban get a star before John Carpenter? And
Wow.
the answer is actually pretty simple, and this gets to my theory about I think John Carpenter was sending out a secret message through his Walk of Fame ceremony, and this all has to do with the movie The Thing that Kurt Russell and Keith David were in. Because the reason that it took so long for John Carpenter to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame is because The Thing, which came out in the summer of 1982, The Thing ruined his career. It's a cult classic now. We all love it. We all recognize it as the masterpiece that it is. But when The Thing came out in the summer of 1982, Carpenter was riding a hot streak. Halloween was huge. Assault on Precinct 13 and Escape from New York were like low budget hits, and that proved that he could work within budgets and make a lot out of nothing. The Fog did well. So John Carpenter in the summer of 1982 was one of the hottest directors in Hollywood. He had his own office on the Universal lot. He was Universal's golden boy.
Wow.
And this was going to be his like first really like big budgeted movie, his biggest budget yet that he's working with. And he's got his buddy Kurt Russell, like, here we fucking go. And he's remaking one of his favorite movies of all time, The Thing from Outer Space. But when this movie came out, it was, no joke, universally reviled. Box office flop, critical flop. Even our boy Roger Ebert, who's usually ahead of the curve on things, hated it. And the number one response to it was, it's gross. People thought it was like disgusting and vile. And the thing that I think really hurt it, and the reason why people couldn't kind of see it for what it was the summer of 1982 is famously known as the summer of Spielberg. It's the summer that he came out with E.T. and Poltergeist, which he produced or kind of shadow directed, or whatever you think about Poltergeist. But E.T. was one of the biggest hits that had ever happened. It was one of the biggest movies ever, and specifically, it got everyone sort of getting in touch with the child inside them again and being nostalgic for childhood, and everyone was just sort of soft and teary-eyed, and it was morning in America again. It's the 80s are here. There's a new vibe. And then in the middle of the ET summer, John Carpenter releases The Thing with just the dog coming apart and its guts hanging out, and like a guy getting his arms bit off by a guy's stomach, and like everything that goes on in The Thing. It just could not have been timed worse for where the culture was, and it made him persona non grata. Universal canceled his overall deal and kicked him off the lot. They kicked him out of his office. He had to go back basically career-wise to square one, and he never got those opportunities again that he had going into that summer. I know.
Wow.
I know.
I mean, they take it away from you so fast.
So fast.
So fast.
Here's what Carpenter had to say about this, just so you know I'm not bullshitting you. He said about The Thing, the movie was attacked like nobody's business. It was a hated, cursed movie for a very long time, and I was out of work and feeling pretty bleak. Nobody wanted to hire me afterwards because not only was The Thing a box office failure, it was an artistic failure. People didn't get it. They thought it was bad. This is the best quote, I was treated like slime. My career would have been very different had The Thing been successful. So what I think there is a coded message going on at Carpenter's Walk of Fame ceremony when he's standing there side by side with Kurt Russell and Keith David, and they both use their speeches to talk specifically about The Thing. I think this is Carpenter giving Hollywood a big middle finger and saying, look at me now, baby, and look at you. You all love The Thing. You wanted to run me out of town when it came out in 1982, and now you're giving me a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
It must feel good.
Must feel
That must feel
great.
fucking good.
Oh, my, how things have changed.
I can't believe they didn't like The Thing when it came out. Like,
you believe it?
I actually can't.
And it came out on the same weekend as Blade Runner, which was also a flop when it came out.
We just can't understand the vibes of 1982. I mean, we're kind of in a little vibey shift right now, but that's a whole.
It was
different
E.T.
bag of-
summer,
a whole
and people
different
were
bag.
like, Blade Runner is boring and The Thing is gross. I think I'll go rewatch E.T. again. Look, E.T.'s great, but
It's not
I
about
mean,
it. Right? It's not about that.
yeah, it's not about that at all. Well, what do you say? Should we get this show going?
I can't wait.
Let's do it. Carson, roll that fanfare, if you will, please.
Welcome to Movies, Baby, the weekly show where we break down the hottest movie news, review the latest releases, shout out forgotten classics, and prophesy the future of Hollywood. I'm Joe Cilio, aka the Philly Movie Freak, and I'm joined as always by my co-host Brett Boehm, aka the Georgia Movie Dog.
Go Dogs! We're coming to you live from the San Fernando Valley, baby. And oh boy, Joe, the sun is out, the birds are singing. Suddenly, everyone's feeling good in Tinseltown because the Minecraft movie made a shit ton of money.
We're back.
And the vibes at CinemaCon were good. All right, we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about Hollywood is back. And in the second half of the show, this is for Patreon subscribers only, we've got 60-second reviews. We've got, I think, somewhere in the ballpark of like 25 60-second reviews. I don't know if we'll get to all of
We're
them.
gonna just passionately talk about movies
We have
at a high clip.
We've been seeing so many movies, and this is going to be like kind of more limited release, under the radar indie movies,
and some forgotten,
international
some of
movies.
those forgotten classics.
Some forgotten classics that Joe's been seeing at some of the great repertory theaters around LA. This is not repertory. What am I trying to say? Revival theaters. Thank you. The other R word. And you're not going to want to miss that. So sign up at patreon.com/moviesbaby with 5 Ys. Start with a 7-day free trial. See where it goes from there.
It's really fun.
But first, we got to talk about this freaking CinemaCon. This week on Movies Baby, Viva Las Vegas. The industry descended on Las Vegas last week for CinemaCon 2025. The all-important upfronts organized by, what used to be called NATO, the National Association of Theater Owners, not the NATO that Gerard Butler is referring to in Den of Thieves 2 Pantera when he screams out, "Fuck NATO!" At a French disco. It's a great movie. They used to be called NATO. They just last month changed their name to Cinema United. But it's basically, the professional organization of all the theater owners, movie theater owners in the country. And they put on CinemaCon every year in Las Vegas, and all the studios come out from Hollywood and they give these big, flashy PowerPoint presentations about their new movies coming out, and they're trying to drum up all this hype and make headlines. And make headlines they did. I was overwhelmed by the amount of news, movie news coming out last week, coming out of CinemaCon. And Joe, if you don't mind, I wanted to run you through a couple of these headlines. And because you are the Philly Movie Freak, I thought we would do one of our classic segments. Freak yeah.
Yes.
Freak off.
Yes.
In which I tell you a headline, and you tell me, freak yeah.
Okay.
You like the headline.
Okay.
You're excited about
Freak
it.
yeah.
Or freak off.
And that's not one of about the parties.
The parties? Oh, sorry.
The Diddy parties.
The Diddy. No,
it's not like
it is
that.
not about. We're not talking about Diddy's
like
freak
that.
off parties.
No.
However, it is the negative of the two options. It means you don't like it, so it kind of works.
It reminds one
it
of
works.
not
yeah.
liking.
Right.
Okay.
Right?
Freak off.
It's,
I'm ready. Hit me
Freak
with the
yeah,
news.
freak off. All right.
News me.
Here we go. Headline number 1, John Wick Chapter 5 is happening? During Liongate's presentation at CinemaCon, the chair of the board, Adam Fogelson, announced that John Wick Chapter 5 is starting production with Keanu Reeves returning, even though John Wick, spoiler alert, died at the end of Chapter 4. Joe, what do you think? John Wick Chapter 5, freak yeah, freak off.
Freak off. I don't care. Fuck it. Oh, John 4 was the best. John Wick 4 was the best one, Joe. I don't care anymore. I don't care. Too much lore. I'm done. Bye.
I agree. It's been diminishing returns for me in the John Wick
we will have people
franchise.
at our throats. People in this building will be at our throats. People whose movies opinions we trust at our throats. But
I like them. I watched them, but diminishing returns. And he died. What is he, Moriarty?
Also,
was he hanging off on the cliff?
John Wick was a huge movie. It changed action movies, and I've been watching John Wick ripoffs ever since. I don't want another one. I'm done.
All right, next headline. The casting of Sam Mendes' Beatles movie is now officially official. It's been rumored for a while, but now at CinemaCon, they got the Fab Four up there on stage. They were all dressed in black. They were looking good.
Yeah.
And if you're a fan of Baby Girls and Rodent Boyfriends,
Yeah.
honey,
you're gonna
well,
love the Beatles.
your train just came
Yeah.
in because we've got Paul Mescal is Paul McCartney.
Okay.
That's easy to remember. Paul is Paul.
Yep.
We got Harris Dickinson, Baby Girl himself, as John Lennon.
Okay.
We've got Joseph Quinn
Yeah.
from A Quiet Place and Stranger Things and Gladiator 2 as George Harrison.
Okay.
And we got that little rat, that little weirdo, Barry Keoghan as Ringo Starr. I saw that sheep movie, by the way. The one where he kills
Oh, you did?
Chris Rabbit sheep. Yeah, I'll talk about it in 60
Okay.
seconds
All right.
reviews.
How was it?
3.
Oh.
But little preview of part 2. Joe, what do you think of the casting of Sam Mendes Beatles movies? Freak yeah, freak off.
I have to preamble.
Yeah, please do.
Before I get to the casting, this project, let's talk about it for 1 second,
Yes,
really quick.
yes.
It's 4 different movies.
Four
it's not,
feature
it's not a
films.
Beatles movie where they're all in the movie together. Or they're in 4 different movies together, and one of each of the movies follows one of the 4 Beatles. And Sam Mendes is directing all 4 of them, and they're all going to come out in like whatever, a year or 2 span, and it's this big theatrical project. On one hand, the Beatles is the biggest band of all time, and this is a good idea in the sense that I like a big dramatic swing, and this is eventizing the Beatles, and you're getting the hottest stars in Hollywood, and I like that.
They're calling it the first bingeable theatrical experience.
Okay, now they're getting cute on me, but like ultimately,
Yeah.
despite the buzzwords,
Yeah.
I like it in theory. Here's what I don't like about it. Number one, I don't like Sam Mendes.
Yeah, that's the big problem.
I don't like
It's a big
Sam
problem.
Mendes. I like Revolutionary Road, but otherwise, I just do not like Sam Mendes.
The guy directed American Beauty. Don't let him direct the
I
in
don't-
1917. Come on, don't let him
I
direct
don't
the Beatles
like his
movies.
theater output. I don't like his movies.
They
And
should have got
he's-
Todd Haynes to direct these.
Exactly.
Somebody cool.
I'm afraid Mendes
Somebody
is just
cool.
a little straightforward.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't like about his Bond movies, and I'm just not. He's not my favorite director.
You know the one thing though that I guarantee Sam Mendes got, which is these are going to be the first like fictional feature films that got the rights to use the Beatles songs, and I bet that had to do with like having just a steady hand on
Yeah,
board.
yeah,
in
and
Sam
he's
Mendes.
British, and he
Yeah,
like you know he
exactly.
loves all the British stuff,
Yes.
and he's a steady hand, and he's a big time director.
But whatever.
But it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
And then as far as the casting goes, you've asked me a question. You said freak on, freak off. I'm gonna say freak on because like
okay.
I don't. It's not like because. Like I'm not a hater. Like,
Yeah.
who else are they going to cast? They're going to cast all the hot boys to do
Yeah,
all the
right,
Beatles.
right.
The one that's really questionable is Dixon or as John Lennon.
Dickinson as Lennon is
Dickinson
gonna be
as
a
Lennon's
reach.
tough for me.
That's going to be a reach.
I didn't particularly love him in Baby Girl, and that was sort of his calling card. Like if it was who's my favorite thin tall boy, Josh
Jacob Elordi.
Josh O'Connor.
Oh, Josh O'Connor.
Josh O'Connor could have been
He
a
ain't
John
that
Lennon.
tall. He ain't that tall.
He ain't that tall.
He's not that tall.
That's what you're worried about?
Yeah.
I like Joseph Quinn as George Harrison. That'll be the worst of the 4 movies, I assume. Right? Like, who gives a fucking shit? What, he has some introspection? Like, who cares? And the
Just you
Ringo
wait.
movie is going to be interesting as, like,
Yeah.
for funsies. Like, what's
Yeah.
that one all about? For funds?
I loved when we
What's the
watched
drama?
in the Peter Jackson documentary. Ringo was my favorite because he just shows up to work like 5 minutes early and is just like ready to go, and
Ready
then
to
like
go.
and then like leaves like 5 minutes and then leaves 5 minutes early. Like he's
Yeah.
just like clocking in and clocking out. I would love if the Barry Keoghan Ringo just went nuts, just did something like totally left field.
But it won't.
It won't. It
So
won't.
so
It won't.
basically, this in theory, this is a freak on idea. There's like some question marks, but I'm freak on about the project. Whatever.
Casting
Whatever.
alone, freak on. Okay.
Yeah.
Freak.
Freak on, baby. I like it.
Wait, I don't think freak on was one of the choices.
Oh,
it's freak.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I like this. You
Yeah,
can
freak,
invent.
yeah.
You can invent new freaks.
Thanks.
Invent
freak,
new freaks.
yeah, freak, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Freak on, freak,
It's
yeah.
fine.
All right. Amazon MGM did a presentation, and they like read a prepared statement about the James Bond handover, because now Amazon
Yes.
has full creative control after the Broccoli's took a big boatload of money to basically fuck off, so Jeff Bezos could run James Bond moving forward. Except it's not going to be Jeff Bezos. It's going to be our old friend Amy Pascal and David Heyman, two famous big time producers, are going to be taking over the reins of the franchise for Amazon. And they basically said, we're not going to take any questions about the James Bond thing, which means they haven't figured out shit. And they read this statement: "We are committed to honoring the legacy of this iconic character while bringing a fresh, exhilarating new chapter to audiences around the world alongside Amy and David.
Good.
They're both in London getting started." Amy just gets so fucked up in London right now.
What? Getting started.
And they couldn't be here tonight, but we wanted to thank them
They're
for
both
what...
just like at home in California, watching the news. They're not working on James Bond.
Their
right now.
interior decorators
Yeah,
are currently
they're not in London.
Kensington getting their,
Like London
getting their
doing what?
apartment
Hanging
set
out
up.
with MI6? They're not in London. They're home. Okay, go ahead.
But we wanted to thank them for what we know. I can't even read. This is just like nonsense.
All right.
What do you think? Freak yeah, freak off, or something else?
Brett, an unabashed, full-throated freak, yeah. Amy Pascal.
Why?
Amy Pascal and David Heyman is the perfect combo of producers to take over for Broccoli after the Amazon sale. Who else could you possibly want? I don't want any of these Amazon execs. I don't want any of like whippersnappers or young bucks. I want Amy Pascal. Amy Pascal is one of my heroes. She's one of my favorite producers. She's made a billion kinds of great movies. She's been through every single kind of transition. She is the kind of platinum level talent that you want to helm this type of massive project. And Heyman, hey, he's no slouch and he's British. God bless America. God bless Britain. Except I hate Britain. They're the villains of history. Go forth, Amy. I love you.
Now,
Freak yeah.
have you watched The Studio yet? The Seth Rogen
No,
show?
but I look forward to
You know,
it 'cause
Catherine O'Hara is supposed to be Amy Pascal.
That's what I've heard.
Okay, yeah. That was honestly, I was like, give me a reason, and then I read that, and I was like, there's my reason.
Yeah, I love Amy
There's the
Pascal.
reason. All right, now Blumhouse, of course, Blumhouse Productions did a presentation led by their leader, their fearless leader, Jason Blum. And Blumhouse, one of the great success stories of Hollywood over the last 10, 20 years. They've been on a bit of a cold streak lately. They released 4 movies last year in 2024. None of them hit. Night Swim, Imaginary, Afraid, Speak No Evil. And they don't spend a lot of money on these movies, so there's not a huge risk. But they're used to at least one kind of buzzy movie a year, and they didn't have it last year. And then they started off 2025 with another 2 lukewarm releases, Wolfman and The Woman in the Yard. But, Joe, the cavalry is coming because they've got 3 sequels coming out later this year. Megan 2.0, which will be big. The question is how big.
Mm-hmm.
Black Phone 2, and we'll see.
cares?
And Five Nights at Freddy 2, which will probably be the biggest out of the 3. That first Five Nights at Freddy movie crushed. So what does Jason Blum do, Carson? Can we see that photo? This is how he came out to address the Cinema United theater owners. There he is.
Yeah, there he
He
is.
came out dressed in the Five Nights at Freddy animatronic bear suit.
Yeah.
Now, not the most elegant costume. I don't even know how they got him in that thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it took him to get him out of it. But, Joe, what do you think? Jason Blum dressed as the Five Nights at Freddy animatronic bear. Freak yeah or freak off?
To him dressing like that?
just coming out dressed like that.
Freak yeah. In this industry, when it's not going well, sometimes you gotta just try something big. Sometimes when you're looking down the barrel of some problems, you just dress up like a giant animatronic bear and you get out there and you make a fool of yourself for the good folks, because at the end of the day, when the dust settles, you're the king and they can't take that away from you. Love you, Jason.
Wow. Somebody's auditioning to replace that other guy as the VP over at Blumhouse.
Without a doubt, that was my intention.
Yeah.
100%. This is a job interview. I love you, Jason.
I'm gonna chime in here and say, freak off. You run Blumhouse, sir. Have some self-respect.
He doesn't run, the Museum of American History. He runs Blumhouse.
These are industry upfronts. Can you imagine
He's being funny.
Can you imagine the peals of nervous laughter that went through that room when he came out, and the guy who like owns like 6 AMC's in Nebraska was like, yes, Bear Man. Come on, Blum. Just tell them what movies are coming out and tell them how much freaking money they're going to make. Because it's going to be a lot. You're going to do very well the second half of this year. I predict a comeback second half of the year for Blumhouse.
Amen. I love it.
Did you watch the Naked Gun teaser?
Yes.
Okay. We got to... now, this is a big movie for me because I have it on my fantasy movie
nice.
team this year. And they moved The Bride till next year. So I think Naked Gun was my alternate.
Nice.
So it's going to be it's going to be on my team officially. Now, what we're talking about is Paramount is releasing a reboot of The Naked Gun this fall, directed by Akiva Schaffer from The Lonely Island and starring Liam Neeson as Lieutenant Frank Drebin Jr., as we find out in the teaser. What did you think about this teaser, Joe? Freak yeah, freak off.
Oh, freak yeah.
Yeah.
Big freak yeah. From Joe. Not because it was like the funniest collection of bits ever in the trailer, but because it suggested to me that this movie knows what we're going to do with Naked Gun, and it feels like they're going to murder. It feels like they're going to nail it, and I really do think that comedy is back on the menu, and the movie Friendship with Paul Rudd and Tim Robinson, this movie, The Naked Gun, are going to be two sides of the same coin, which is if you cost control your comedies and eventize them appropriately, they are going to return revenue. That is my prediction, so that's a big freak yeah to comedy being back, to picking The Naked Gun to be the IP to bring comedy back. I think this is a great.
Yeah.
People want to laugh at the movie theater.
Yeah.
I learned that last night at the Minecraft movie. People like laughing together. It's fun. And not that I, whatever. But
we'll talk about Minecraft movie.
But Brett, I freak yeah, Naked Gun. I love Naked Gun. I'm a big Naked Gun head. What's the problem here?
I agree. I think that trailer, that little teaser was a big freak yeah for me as well. I love that they iced Zucker out. He's pissed that he's not like part of this or wasn't consulted. And it's like, you made was it like that alt-right scary movie he made, whatever that was.
Yeah, I love those.
So Zucker's iced out, but they're doing Naked Gun. There's no like hesitation. There's no weird post-woke like fears about us doing a spoof. They're all in. They're going hard. And there's an OJ joke in the teaser. I was like, let's fucking go. That's what Naked Gun is. You got to have some balls, baby. You got to be a little brave, a little bold with it.
Jokes.
Let's go.
Jokes the movies,
Jokes,
please.
Jokes,
please.
And the OJ joke is funny. It's good. It's a nice punchline.
It was all funny.
Yeah. I loved it.
Freak yeah.
I loved it. Freak yeah. All right, last one here for you. And now this news did not break at CinemaCon, but it kind of took the air out of CinemaCon's tires a little bit because it was all anyone wanted to talk about, but it has to do with a streaming service, not a movie that will probably get a big theatrical release, or who knows, maybe it will. And I'm, of course, talking about there's going to be a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel, and it's going to be directed by David Fincher, with a script by Quentin Tarantino, and it's going to focus on Brad Pitt's character Cliff Booth? Joe, what the hell's going on here? Freak yeah, freak off.
This is the biggest freak yeah of the segment. Freak yeah. I love it. I love it for all the words you just said. Quentin Tarantino wrote it, and David Fincher's going to direct it. And you know what else I love about this? David Fincher and Martin Scorsese, instead of like bitching and moaning, they're just going to take the streamers' money and make some fucking movies.
Yeah.
Bitching and moaning. Where's my theatrical distribution for my fucking, mediocre... Fincher and Scorsese's like, I want my big budget, and I want to make the movie. And one day, they're going to play it at the theaters in my retrospective, or they're going to put it on DVDs at the Criterion Collection, or Quentin's going to buy it and put it in his movie.
Yep.
They'll figure it out later.
Yep.
Fincher's like, give me all the sauce. Give me all the money. I'll make Squid Game 2. I'll make 3 movies for me. I'll make Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Tarantino.
Yep.
I think
big budget, final cut, fuck off.
Fucking
That's
whatever.
What they want.
Just
That's
fucking
what they
fuck
want.
you.
Yeah.
And you know what? I love this also because I'm a loser that I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I read the novelization.
The book. I read the novelization too. Yeah.
And there's like, he obviously has like a lot more story to tell.
Yeah.
He could write a bunch of these spin-offs and sequels, and for Fincher to pilot whatever this is or whatever this is going to be, that couldn't be more. Fincher's one of the best living directors. Tarantino writes a screenplay with like, the passion of a zealot. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I cannot wait because I mean this is how we started out. You know, the script for True Romance, for example. So we're going back to like the early days for Quentin, where he's writing, someone else is directing.
It's fun.
I think Fincher's the guy for the job. I think it's a really good choice. And everybody's like, this hasn't been made official, and it's not officially on Netflix, but that's who Fincher has the deal with right now.
Sorry, that's what I was saying. Was like,
so
this
it's
is gonna
most
be on
likely going to be on Netflix. And it also connected some dots for me because if you read that novelization of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that Tarantino wrote, one of the funniest parts about it is that he makes Cliff Booth a cinephile just so that Tarantino can write these like 4-page essays about like a bunch of movies that he likes. So like Cliff Booth, when he's not working for Leonardo DiCaprio's character, he just goes to like the New Beverly and he goes to movie theaters and watches like I Am Curious Yellow and whatever, Rolling Thunder, whatever.
Like tons of
we just watching good movies,
right.
and it's so funny because it's like, Quentin, I don't think Cliff Booth was a cinephile. Like, I think you just made him a cinephile so you can write these like mini essays in this novelization. And then I found out that the movie critic, the movie that he like started developing and then abandoned, was gonna be about Cliff Booth. Cliff Booth was gonna be like a character or a main character in that movie. So he's been like, through the novelization, through a movie critic, he has been trying. He wants to do a Cliff Booth thing as a way of doing another movie about movies thing, and now it's finally
a good
found.
way to do it.
I agree. I think this is a really good way to do it.
I like this.
I like
This
this
is
a
fun.
lot. I like this a lot. I think
Cheers
it's a
to
fun
this.
twist. I love it. And Tarantino's got so many things going on right now. Let Fincher direct the movie. You just write it, then you don't have to fucking be on set. You know, like just let Fincher direct it. I love it. Well, that was I think a successful edition of Freak Yeah Freak Off,
Absolutely.
CinemaCon 2025 edition. All right, let's talk Minecraft, baby. This week on Movies, baby, the Minecraft movie dug up a huge payday at the box office and gave Hollywood hope for 2025 after a disastrous start to the year. We saw it, we're going to review it, but first, let's dig into those numbers. Carson, show me the money, baby. And by money, I of course mean the weekend box office returns. Holy shit, we haven't seen numbers this high in a long, long time, Joe. What is happening?
I'm looking at a
What is
looking at a
happening?
line here to our audio listeners. It says a Minecraft movie, Warner Brothers, $157 million domestic gross.
Domestic.
$157 million domestic opening weekend for a $301 million worldwide opening.
Look at the per theater. It was doing 36,000 per theater domestic.
Jesus.
This is insane. People were so thirsty for the Minecraft
Brett,
movie.
Brett,
Who knew?
Put this in context
Who knew?
for us. How
Okay,
big is this
okay.
opening, and what does this
So
mean?
this is, I mean, easily the biggest opening of the year so far, and it was not projected to be. Most people were thinking this would do. The previous biggest opening this year was Captain America: Brave New World, which did 88 million opening weekend. Most projections had the Minecraft movie somewhere in that ballpark. It did basically double that. Double that. Do you know how fucking hard that is in 2025? Nobody saw this coming to this extent. Nobody knew that the public was just ravenous for the Minecraft movie. In addition to being the biggest opening of the year, it was the fourth biggest PG opening ever, which is crazy. It was the biggest video game adaptation opening ever, beating out 2023's Super Mario Brothers movie, which went on to make $1.4 billion and was the second biggest movie of 2023 behind Barbie. So if the Minecraft movie is on track for anything like that, holy shit, I did not know we were going to have this kind of good news box office-wise this early. We were all holding on for that Mission Impossible Lilo and Stitch Memorial Day weekend, and who knew Minecraft movie was going to come and save the day? And do what Snow White could not do what Mickey 17 could not do, which is put butts in seats and bring people out to theaters. Holy shit. So, Joe, I have two questions for you about the Minecraft movie's success. Number one, why? Why was it so successful? What about it appealed to people? Why did it make so much money? And two, this is a Warner Brothers movie, and as you know, we've been tracking the really slow start that Warner Brothers has had this year. There were reports coming out last week that David Zaslav was already looking to replace Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdy, Mike and Pam, who are leading Warner Brothers movie division. And their heads were definitely on the chopping block. So my question is, does this save their jobs? How did it happen? Why did it happen? And are Mike and Pam safe to fight another day now.
So why first? First, let's just start with the IP, Minecraft, which me and you, and it seems like a lot of people kind of underestimated as a cultural power. So how big is this game, dude? Listen, it's the best-selling video game of all time.
Oh, wow.
Just for starters.
Okay.
More than
I
Tetris.
didn't know that.
More than Tetris, more than GTA 5. Sold
Wow.
over 300 million copies.
Jeez.
170 million people play Minecraft every month, with over 1 million people often playing online at once. 170 million a month. Brett, on YouTube, Minecraft content, only on the YouTube platform, not Twitch. On YouTube, 1.3 trillion views on YouTube of Minecraft content. AKA, it's very, very popular. It's the biggest video game of all time, and people engage with it all day long and constantly. I have nephews. They love Minecraft. They're like 8, 9, 10. I bought them for Christmas like a Minecraft book and a Minecraft backpack. They loved it. Okay, so that's the number one thing. Kids, video gamers, people all across the world, from
It's got the
America to
numbers.
China.
It's got a massive, massive audience. This is not a niche audience.
No.
This
In
is a
China, the
massive
game's been
audience.
downloaded 490 million times. So it made 150.
Okay.
It made 100.
Pictures coming into focus.
It made 150 million dollars domestic, but it made 150 million international.
Yeah.
For a massive opening. So
Yeah,
that's why. Why?
Yeah.
People fucking love it. Number two, kids love it. Children movies do really well. Despicable Me 4, Inside Out 2, Neja 2, the Minecraft movie. When you are able to bring your kids to the movie theater,
Yeah.
families like to turn up.
Yep.
Okay. And then finally, I think that it's just, not like it would like put the butts in the seats. What put butts in seats? Minecraft put butts in seats, but it was good casting.
Yeah.
Jack Black and Jason Momoa, just like who has a problem with either of those people? And Jack Black is a good bet for your positive, upbeat, joy-filled video game adaptation.
He was a
Insofar-
he was a voice in the Super Mario Brothers movie. He's become almost
he
the
was
video
and
game guy.
Think about it. He was a great partner to them on that film. He
Yeah.
went around, he sang a stupid Bowser song, he dressed up like Bowser. He plays the game. He's like a great partner to the studios when it comes time for promotion. And him and Momoa, like, they hit the ground all over the world running with this Minecraft promotion. So good partners for your leads.
I do want to say something to Jack Black, though, because I think I now understand with Minecraft opening this big, I now understand why you think that you had to turn your back on Kyle Gass, your longtime collaborator, creative partner in Tenacious D, when Kyle Gass made that like assassinating Trump joke in that concert, and then like Tenacious D was like over the next day and they canceled the tour. I now understand why you think you had to do that, because you know that you are like a white whale. You're one of the last bankable movie stars. You're one of the last people that can do this, that can open a movie at 150 million domestic, which helps the whole industry and helps movie theaters and does everything. So you know that you play that role, and you think that you have to protect that role at all costs because that role is important. I would agree with that. Where I would disagree, and this is the same point I was making about Rachel Zegler and Snow White last week, is I don't think this shit has a whole lot of influence on how movies open. Whether or not you or somebody you were associated with said something bad about Trump one time. Because look at the Minecraft marketing versus the Snow White marketing. Just total confidence in itself. No, not the like tiptoeing around that Disney was doing, so afraid that Rachel said something about Trump on Twitter. Minecraft was just in Happy Meals and on billboards and in commercials, and Jack Black's on all the shows.
But because Jack Black is so fucking hardcore about keeping his image brand safe. That's why they had the confidence to just go with it. And Ben Platt's brother didn't have to fly to New York to tell Jack Black to fire Kyle Glass. I'm sure Jack Black knew the second he said it that he had to cut ties, because Jack Black is a billion-dollar movie maker now.
I think that's what I know that's what he thinks, and I now understand his point of view. I just happen to disagree with his point of view. I think at the end of the day, nobody is standing there. No red state parent on a Saturday morning is going to be like, sorry to their 3 screaming children, I can't take you to the Minecraft movie because Jack Black's creative partner said something bad about Trump. I just don't think people are connecting those dots. Now it does keep any sort of bad press far away from him, so he just doesn't have that, whatever the noxious odor of right-wing media around him at any time, which is what he wants to keep away from. But I just think I think you kind of overcorrected with that one. I don't think that would have become as big of a deal as you thought it might have been. I think you could have stayed. You could have kept doing the Tenacious D tour, and Minecraft still would have opened. Maybe it opened at 149 million.
I don't know.
domestic.
I think you're right because we put way too much emphasis on vibes.
Yeah.
But I understand that in this media environment, like you got to mitigate risk in all costs. And Jack Black being just like cutthroat about his brand safety is an asset. So that's why I think it.
You know what?
Yes.
And I don't even know if I'm right. I hope I'm right, but
I hope you're right too.
I might not be right.
I don't know if you're right or not.
I might not be right. Maybe Snow White bombed because of Rachel Zegler's tweets, and maybe Minecraft movie made 150 million because Jack Black cut Kyle Gass out of his life.
Now look,
I don't know. Maybe that's just how the world works.
It's because
I hope it doesn't.
Let's be very clear.
Yeah.
It's because the Minecraft IP is the biggest IP in the world, and the Snow White IP is ancient history from 1930s.
I'm now believing that more people in the current world that we live in, living people taking breath, drawing breath. I think more people have probably heard of Minecraft than Snow White, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm telling you.
Well, that's why. That's why.
It's you're right. It's not because of the vibes.
Kyle Gass.
That
now.
being said,
Repair the bridge.
Jack Black is making a lot of money because he keeps his mouth shut, which sucks, but is true. And I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's what happened. And then will Mike and Pam keep their jobs?
Yeah. At Warner Brothers.
Here's what I think. If I was Zaz, yes, I think two things are true. Zaslav was really PO'd about the way Q1 went down, and he started being a little bitch and telling everybody he was going to get new studio heads and started interviewing people. And his new idea was, fuck Alto Knights, his idea. Fuck Mickey 17. Fuck Sinners. We're just going to do big IP from now on. That's what he wanted to do. He said, I'm doing big IP, that's it. Which is like funny to say, but like, I guess, okay. And then, so look what Pam and Michael wrought. And I know it was been a 10-year process to bring this movie to the screen, but they get the credit. They shepherded it through the end. If they take the lumps on some of these pictures, they're also going to take the W's. And look what they successfully did. They used giant media infrastructure to put massive IP into development and properly take the Minecraft IP through the movie machine to make a shit ton of money. What else could you possibly want from a studio head? They turned an IP into like a thing. They made the world like whole. Now we're going to get Minecraft movie 2 and Minecraft movie 3 because they did it. They took IP, they established a world, and they like made it popular and big in movies. What else could you possibly want from your studio heads? So why can't you just keep Michael and Pam? Let's do Minecraft again with other IP, and fine, and just we're not doing Sinners next year. Fuck you. We're just going to go IP shopping and build up our worlds, and that's what we're going to do. No reason not to keep them in my head now. They just made $1 billion earner, like at Warner Brothers, out of Minecraft with Jack Black as the star. That's a job keeper, honey.
But now maybe the auteur movies can continue to trickle in if you have like let the Minecraft IP be your, you know, the old thing at Apple where like they made Wozniak's Apple IIc, which footed the bill so Steve Jobs could go off into his laboratory and dream up the future or whatever bullshit. But they had to keep making the Apple IIc to foot the bill. So maybe Minecraft movie, that maybe those kind of movies are the Apple IIc, and then you can continue to give Paul Thomas Anderson $150 million, or is that never going to happen again in the the history of time?
Ever.
Okay,
that's the mistake.
Well, enjoy this year.
Keep the profit.
Enjoy this year.
Just, you know what, another way to think about it though, instead of like as the creator economy eats into legacy media, it's okay that our biggest studios are what can handle the biggest IP. What I'm saying is like, fine.
Because we also have Neon and we have A24.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And you have Forever Dog, and you have a million other new creators.
Briarcliff.
You have a million other new creators and people doing this in the space. So it's like, what does WB have?
Just do what you do.
They have the giant fucking things for giant fucking movies. Fine. Just do Minecraft, losers.
Because when you give Paul Thomas Anderson $150 million, then we have to keep hearing about it, and you're so miserable about it. And so it's like, well, fuck off then. Just go make Minecraft.
Of course, I want them to keep making good movies, but also it's like they're gigantic companies that we hate all their good movies that they make. Just fine, then just make all the schlop then.
Yeah. Let Neon handle the
fine. We'll make the good movies. Fuck you.
All right, let's review this movie because we did see it. We saw a Minecraft movie in theaters. We're part of that. We're part of those box office returns.
Yeah, we are.
A Minecraft movie was directed by Jared Hess. It was written by like 20 people. It stars Jason Momoa, Jack Black, Danielle Brooks, Emma Myers, and Sebastian Hansen. It's about 4 misfits who are pulled through a portal into a cubic world that thrives on imagination, having no choice but to master the world while embarking on a quest with an expert crafter named Steve. That's Jack Black. Do you mind if I quickly give my take on this movie, Joe? While you
I just like just you just saying That made me upset. Go ahead.
Now, here's the thing. I think we actually kind of disagree on this movie a little bit. And it's funny, like, I think it just, I don't know, it's like the mood you're in or sort of, I don't know, different things going on. I didn't hate this movie. It's not great, but like it was charming enough and funny enough. It was, I was actually, after seeing the movie itself, I was even more shocked about how much money it had made. Not knowing all those Minecraft statistics, I was more shocked because that trailer they cut was garbage. It was like literally the worst stuff in the movie was in the trailer. Because when I saw that trailer, I was going in this movie thinking it was gonna be a steaming pile of shit because of that trailer.
Right.
And then 5 minutes in, I was like, oh, this is like charming and decent. Like I was like, it's got a little rhythm to it. It's got a little patter to it. So I don't know why they cut such a stinking trailer, but I guess it didn't matter. A couple things about this movie. There's a lot of Jared Hess to it. There's like, if you know Jared Hess, he directed Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre, Gentlemen Broncos. He's like the Mormon Wes Anderson.
It was good to see
his thing.
Clement was hilarious.
Yes,
in his like one sentence. Yes, so funny. Yeah,
he's so funny. And then the art teacher in the very beginning was another highlight for me.
Yeah, Hess has his little
got a couple
like crew guys back in.
Hess got a few like
and Jack Black
Hess characters and Jack Black. Yeah, but he got a couple like Jared Hess characters in there. So if you like Jared Hess movies, I mean, look, they're not the best movies in the world, but I have nothing against them. I've liked all the ones I've watched.
They have style and the point of view, and they have like when you say a Jared Hess movie, you know the vibe. Like, that's impressive. That's awesome.
They're quirky and funny, and and they're about characters you don't always see in movies. So like, what are you gonna do? I don't hate Jared
original,
Hess.
but it's not Jared. Like, congrats, Jared, on the giant hit. Good for you, brother.
Dude, congratulations. The biggest
all the love in the world to Jared
now.
Hess. Yeah.
From Napoleon Dynamite to
I love that. I love that.
Domestic opening. That's pretty cool.
That is really
I also like that the movie didn't get super hung up on like explaining itself.
That was one of the nice things.
It just
this movie knew it shouldn't exist, and it just sped along.
Yes. It knew it had an absurd premise. It knew it knew it shouldn't exist at all. There's no reason to make a Minecraft movie, and so it just sort of like said, "We're doing it."
Can I jump in here?
Yes, please.
You know when you're taking like a screenwriting class and it has like all the different nodes on the chain of a screenwriting, and it's like, this is the moment of ultimate sadness, and then there's the up and up, and then there's the big up, and then you have the sad, right? So it's like all the parts of how the story goes. In the Minecraft movie, I swear to God, it was one frame, one sentence, like per node on the storytelling chain. It was like, oh no, everything we had is bad. And then the next frame was a guy being like, don't worry, I got the pen of power. Like, oh, okay, all right, great. Just like blazingly fast through this movie.
Kind of an impressive.
It was like, was the movie 30 minutes long? Like, it's just like blazingly fast.
It was an impressive tightrope of like fan service and not being too Easter eggy, where like there is like so much Minecraft shit in
honey,
here.
that's just because, okay, wait, what are you going to say?
Well, here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
There is so much Minecraft shit. Everything is Minecraft shit. It's basically a tutorial for like how to play Minecraft. But Minecraft is like easy to follow. And,
I
like,
thought
simple,
so until I watched the movie. I have no idea what Minecraft is now.
Here's the thing. Everything they mention where it'd be like, you have to wear the wings of destiny to get down there, and those are townspeople. Like everything is just obvious. It's like context clues. Like, I was like, okay, I don't like really know what that is, but I know enough what you're talking about to follow this dumb movie. Like, so everything was like, the fans were getting their shit. So it's the kind of thing where it's like, I don't recognize the proper noun that you're using, but I understand the function of that character or that thing. It's like nothing.
It's not a difficult world.
There's a hard movie to follow.
That was the longest-winded way to say, like, there's a happy world that's green and there's a bad world that's dark. That's it. Like, that's it. That's the whole underworld. There's a netherworld and an overworld.
It is like loaded with lore and Minecraft specifics, but it's not hard to follow. Is my point?
Yes,
is my point.
That's correct.
And that's like takes some elegant sort of script handling and stuff.
What did you eat? You fucking generous fucker.
Look, at the end of the day, though, it's not a great movie, but it's all right. I gave it 2.5 stars.
Hey, all right.
It's all right.
Is that want to hear a little bit about what I thought about the movie?
I do.
You know, the job at hand, the assignment, so to speak, was to make a movie called a Minecraft movie and to make $1 billion hit. And here's some choices they made that serviced that, and you've already mentioned number one. Number one, don't worry about it. Don't take it too seriously. Let's have some fun. I liked the emphasis on joy and fun in this movie. That was like what they were going to go with. There was no part where it's like, oh, something sad happened, or let's connect to Jack Black's character because his mom was really mean to him or something. None of that.
No.
It's just like
not the place or the time.
It's like, this is a Minecraft
Not
movie.
the place or the time.
This is for...
And we did apparently have dead parents. There's 2 like orphans running around, and we never like
right.
find, but we never like find out. It's like hey, you know what? It's good. It's good they're dead.
I guess you're right. Like the girl who's the mom now, the sister. She's like, it's really hard being a mom. I just wanted to be a sister. That was it. One sentence, and then Daniel Brooks was like, said something funny or whatever.
Yeah. Like, oh, look at that llama.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so I liked the emphasis on joy and how it wasn't taking itself so seriously, and I think that Jack Black was great casting because he's going to do his big Jack Black thing.
Don't soften
And
though.
hold
You
on,
did not
Brett,
like
I'm
this
getting
movie.
to the turn.
All right.
But I got to tell you what I liked first.
Okay.
Jack Black did his Jack Black thing, and Jason Momoa did his like sort of like Ken and Barbie, sort of like Jack Black, like doofus character,
macho doofus,
and he nailed it.
He's
right?
funny. He's funny.
He's funny. He made me smile.
He made me laugh.
And he's game.
Yes.
Jack Black and him are game for this stupid fucking movie, and they both sell it, and it's fine. That being said, Jack Black starts at a Jack Black 10. And he keeps Jack Black 10 the entire runtime. And I've never in my life thought this, but I was like, my God, is he grating on me right now with his Jack Blackness antics? Like, he's just like, he's selling
so
every sentence because the script is so fucking dumb. He's every sentence, he's giving 150%. And it's kind of tough by the end.
Every line where he's like, Morgana the witch.
And he's like saying words funny. And it's like, I mean, they're doing Nacho Libre jokes, which I respect, but like it's whatever. But here's another thing about the movie. I saw this movie last night, 7 p.m. IMAX Burbank. It was packed.
Yeah, clearly
packed.
150 million.
Dude, families filled the stands. Me in the front all alone. Brett, there was no joke. 13, 14, 15 different applause breaks during this thing.
Applause
The fans
breaks.
were going mental.
Yeah.
And every time they said
There's a lot I didn't get.
Every time they said something, the whole crowd went crazy. And it wasn't just the kids. There was this one guy, you could tell because of the timbre of his voice.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, I am Steve. And you'd hear from the back of the auditorium, yeah! And everybody would everyone would clap crazy. Or it'd be like, here's my sword of truth. Just mania. Kids jumping up and down, clapping, talking at the screen, having the time of their lives. Wow. So here's what I'm saying.
This is like a big unifying movie.
Dude, everybody, all stripes.
What is wrong with us?
Well, hold on. I don't know. Loved it.
All right, now I want to lower my rating.
Loved it.
Sucks.
Dude, they fucking loved it. And this, when a bunch of fucking 30-year-olds are happy, obviously I'm mad. When a bunch of 8-year-olds are happy,
okay,
I'm happy.
Fine. Fair
they
point.
loved it.
Yeah,
and
fair
after
point.
the movie, I stayed a little bit because I wanted to hear what everyone was saying. And it was just kid after kid saying, Dad, thank you so much for bringing me to the Minecraft movie. That was so fun.
You know what? That's great.
That was
That's
so
That's
fun.
Great. We need to get this new generation plugged into the movie theaters, baby.
So,
this is the way to do it.
And they've made a ton of money for my beloved AMCs.
Yep.
It was lighthearted and fun.
But
the kids loved it.
But
that doesn't mean just because like this financial proposition succeeded and brought joy to children that it has any artistic merit.
yeah, fair.
This thing's a piece of shit.
That's strong.
I fucking hated it.
That's strong.
I hated it. I hated its breeziness. I hated its bounciness. It's
want trauma? You wanted trauma?
No. I want the jokes to like add up to something. So Danielle Brooks at the beginning, she's a realtor that runs a side hustle of having a zoo in her car. Guess how that pays off? None. It pays off none percent.
She starts a zoo at the end of the movie.
It doesn't pay off comically in any way, shape, or form. It's so weird. The main daughter, that's the mom now, she's awful, and her character sucks. The little boy, whatever, who cares? Creativity versus like whatever.
I knew you would, because Joe is not a big fan of child actors, and they are doing some child acting.
That's okay. Look, I'm not like I'm sure it's not really about them.
I bet they're fucking monsters. Are you kidding me? I bet they would spit on you if you looked at them at the craft service table.
The movie is like ugly. It's unfunny and it's dumb. I don't like video games. I don't like Minecraft. It seems childish and stupid, and I don't understand the game. I understand the game less now. At the beginning, Jack Black's like throwing cubes and building buildings, and I'm like, that's what Minecraft is. Apparently, there's like a narrative to Minecraft, and there's like bad guys, and there's like gold. The bad guys are unfunny. Like, also, like, I hate the like it's like, oh, this part's Lord of the Rings. Oh, this part's NoHo Hank. Oh, this part's another. Like I can see them writing it as it's going. So just like as an adult watching a movie, let me tell you something, folks. Skip it. It's not good.
Oh yeah, don't go see this movie.
This movie is bad.
Yeah, don't
this
go
movie
see this
is
movie.
in fact, Brett, this movie is very bad.
Unless you have kids. I would take my kids to see this.
I would take my kids to see this too. When I was a kid, I liked bad movies about my favorite IP. I remember famously when my parents sucked it up, God bless their soul, and took me and my sister Maria to see that first Pokemon movie, which is which makes this look like Casa fucking Blanca.
Yeah.
That first Pokemon movie is hot garbage. Well, I got the kids' meal. And I loved the movie, and I said, thank you, Dad, so much. And my parents fucking hated it. It's not as bad as that.
I still have a clear memory of my dad taking my sister when she was very young to see Baby's Day Out. I don't know if you remember that movie. It's about a baby that escapes, and like they have to track it down through a city. And
Sounds
it's like,
good.
It's like climbing on like I-beams on top of a construction set. You know, Baby's Day Out.
Yeah.
I remember my dad came back from Baby's Day Out, and he looked like the photo of Obama from 2008 versus the photo of Obama from like 2016. It's like he had like aged like a whole lifetime in the 2 hours that he had to sit through Baby's Day Out.
So I was thinking,
But
like,
it's good. It's
but
good.
Here's what I was thinking. I was like,
now my sister loves the movies.
but I was like, Joe, what are you talking about? Like they make movies for kids. Sometimes, like what are you doing? And then I thought about like, no. Like what about like Muppets in Space? Like that's a great movie. Minecraft.
yeah.
Fuck this movie.
Yeah.
Just because I'm happy that it worked and I'm happy kids had fun doesn't mean I like this movie at all. And by the way, I smiled a bunch and I chuckled a couple, but at the end, I wanted it to be fucking over. It was like Jennifer Coolidge is in this movie, like used, and the people fucking loved her. And I don't know. It just, this movie was stupid.
Dude,
it sucked. I was awful.
I hear you.
Listen, it was just like, just because like you expect this kind of movie to be a flaming piece of shit. So when it's like just buoyant and over quick enough, you can say that was fine because my kid would like it and I didn't want to kill myself. But that doesn't mean it has any fucking merit artistically. Me, the producer, we already talked about that. We already did that part of the show. I told you how brilliant this was and how exciting this is as a piece of business.
Yeah.
As a guy that actually has to talk to you about art and art criticism and movies, this movie's very bad. 1.5 stars.
Oh wow. That's that. Okay. And you made your case though. You made your case. I feel like a softie now giving it 2.5. You know what on this topic, you know what I pulled off the biggest magic trick in history this weekend?
Yeah.
I seamlessly transitioned Sandy into Miyazaki, and he's into it.
Oh,
yeah, baby.
Wow.
Now I get to just watch fucking Miyazaki movies. with
Really?
him. Yes. And guess which one? The only problem is the one that he really likes is Princess Mononoke, which is the super violent one. But like,
but guess what?
it's not that violent.
It
It's
comes out.
fine.
It comes out in 4K IMAX
Yeah,
next week.
I know.
You should go.
I'm gonna take him. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
No, he can't stop talking about Mononoke.
Well,
He fucking
that-
loves it.
cool.
Fucking loves it. Yeah. So we are now
by
in
the
the
way- by the way,
Miyazaki era.
wait, hold
Fuck
on,
you,
stop.
Disney.
Wait.
I don't have to watch any of your bullshit movies anymore. It's all Studio Ghibli all the time.
You're saying, oh, but like he didn't like pick it. Like you showed it to him. Why'd you show him that one?
well, because I want to like, because
Oh,
I have to
you
watch
wanted to
things
watch
with
it.
him, and I cannot fucking watch.
Even though that's the violent one,
as much
you
as I
just
love.
knew?
I
forgot.
I had to start strong. I couldn't start like with
You
like,
weren't
my
like
neighbor
Ponyo?
Totoro. Yeah,
right,
because I had to come out of the gate firing.
All right.
And
Well, look, good for you. It paid off.
I know he's a little boy. He's got fucking psycho thoughts in his head. I was like, let's do Mononoke.
Bold.
He loved it. Yeah,
it's sick.
all right. Next
Better than
week.
Minecraft.
Next week on Movies Baby.
Look, man, Wicked came out. I gave it 4 stars. Told you it was great. I'm not trying to be a grump. I'm just saying Minecraft sucked ass.
No, you're
That's
right.
all
You
I'm
made your
saying.
case. You made your case. You made your case. And I hear you. I just whatever. I was in a mood and I find you know what also too
You're
we're
a
gonna
better man
this
than I.
transitions into 60-second reviews, which we're gonna do on Patreon in just 5 minutes. I had like a bad run at the theaters this weekend with like A24 style movies. I saw like 3 stinkers and I needed
You were like, thank you, Minecraft.
I was like, Minecraft, thank you. All right, next week on Movies Baby. Next week we've got really a pretty dichotomous duo here. This is very
I think
very
this is
different
really
movies.
fun.
This is fun. Warfare, which is the Alex Garland produced movie directed by
Well, he and Mendoza.
they did it together. I thought he
they wrote it and
produced
directed it together. Well, I think Mendoza is like
He's a soldier.
he's not a director,
Right,
so they
got it.
work together.
Okay,
yeah.
so Alex Garland actually gets a director credit.
Yeah.
And okay, got it. Okay, so this is Mendoza and Garland doing what is presented as
real-time,
authentic real-time movie about soldiers in Iraq or Afghanistan? Iraq. Called Warfare. It's got our boy Charles Melton from May December.
It's got a couple good young actors
and some other
in it.
hotties. Joseph Quinn, I think, is in it.
He is.
So Warfare should be very interesting.
Brett, I'm really looking forward to that.
And then Blumhouse, their last new movie before their run of sequels, Drop, with Megan Fahey and also the guy the guy who's in between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. He was in what is his name?
What that movie called?
It Ends With Us. Hold on, I want to do my impression of this guy really quick.
While you're looking, I'll say about
Brandon Sklenar is in Drop. Hold on, you go though.
Well, in Drop's coming out, and it looks sort of like a riff on Trap, kind of.
Yeah,
doesn't it? Drop kind of seems like that.
Yeah. You're trapped on a first date. It's like she's on a first date. It's a Tinder date, and then like
someone texts her like, "I'm going to kill your.
I'm going to kill your children if you don't kill your date.
If you don't like." I'm really looking forward. It looks really fun. I like Drop. I like it in theory. I hope I like it in practice.
So Brandon Sklenar was in the movie It Ends With Us. He was part of the love triangle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, and of course they are, they're having the biggest feud since whatever. Every time
feud season 3, Baldoni versus Lively.
Ryan, you know you want to do it, Ryan. Come on,
Ryan.
Every time in an interview, they ask Brendan Sklenar, who is like Brendan Sklenar's like, can I just be a movie star, please? I don't want to talk about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Can I just be a handsome movie star, please? And so every time there's an interview with him on a red carpet, and they're like, so where do you stand? They're like, they really want this guy to like side, and anything he does, they like interpret it. But anytime he gets asked the direct question, he just in his handsome like dumb little face, he goes, who?
You're kidding.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
But the equivalent of that, he like whatever he can do to like not have to choose a side in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni. And you know what? It worked for Jack Black. He iced his friend out, and now he's got a $150 million movie.
And they'll go
so keep playing that dirty little
year.
game, baby. Keep playing that dirty little game. I don't who? Justin who?
Brett, I'm gonna go scorched earth on these 60-second reviews.
Let's do it. All right, let's actually
Let's
just start.
go.
We don't have to do the transition video, Carson, if you don't mind, because let's
go.
Let's fucking go, right? Because we're running out of time here.
I don't mind. Let's fucking go.
So Carson, if you can just cut. Sorry if you're seeing us for free on YouTube. We're about to cut you out. We're about to cut your ass out. But join us over on Patreon right now. We're going to run through 60-second reviews. And these are movies that, these are movies you actually might want to see. Not the Minecraft movie. These are movies that are, indie movies, art house movies, international movies, limited release movies.
Forgotten Class.
Movies that this is going to be very, very useful. We're going to tell you what to check out, what to skip out of movies that you might actually want to check out. And that's happening right now on Patreon, patreon.com/moviesbaby. And yeah, Ryan in the chat's bringing up a great point. I would just immediately shoot my date in Drop. If someone was on your phone and was like, "We're gonna kill your kid if you don't shoot your date," I'd be like, "Sorry, buddy, we just met. You have to die."
I suppose.
What do you mean you suppose?
Taking a life. Apparently, it's harder than it seems.
I'm gonna shoot my date before they even finish explaining what the conditions are. And I'll make it painless.
Are you ready for this shit?
Yes, let's do it. Carson, we good to go? I think Carson said yes, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, you're good.